Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Enginews, coming to you live from Engineers of Tomorrow. It's me, it's Rebecca. I'm back again. So, hello to all my friends who are joining me today. I thought I would take just a second today and tell you a little bit more about me, about myself. You've heard from me a few times now, so I thought you might be a little bit curious. So I have three kids. They are 10, 12, and 14 years old. So at the moment, they are all home with me, and we are doing school from home now, like I'm sure a lot of you are doing as well. We have a dog that we love very much. Her name is Lava. She is part German Shepherd and part Husky. So she's very smart and she's very strong and she keeps us very busy, but we love her. I also love hockey. Now, I don't play hockey. I did try to play for a little while, but I love to watch. I love watching it professionally as the NHL, and I love to watch my kids play. Both my 10-year-old and my 12-year-old play rep hockey, and they love to play, and I just love to watch them. So that all works out fantastic. I also love that hockey for me makes the winter go by super fast. It keeps us very busy, and I'm not a big fan of winter, so I love that hockey is something fun for us to do during the winter. And I also really love to watch basketball. And so if you look really closely at the picture on the left side of the screen, I want you to try and guess what my favorite basketball team is, or the team that I cheer for when I'm watching the NBA. It shouldn't be too hard. I'm sure you can figure it out. So a little bit about my story. You see some fun pictures up on the screen there. When I was in elementary school, I was convinced I wanted to be an archaeologist. And for those of you who don't know what an archaeologist does or is, that's someone who goes and tries to find ancient artifacts or maybe digs up dinosaur bones, that kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure that that came from the popularity of the movie that was really popular at the time, which was Jurassic Park. So a lot of you may have watched the more recent version of that, as there's been some follow-ups, Jurassic World, and but you can see the influence that that movie had on me with my desire to become an archaeologist. I also really loved chemistry, and that was reflected in just some of the fun things I would do at home. I would tinker around with different things I could find in the kitchen, mixing together baking soda and vinegar, and just trying different experiments for fun at home. But also it came from a teacher that I had. In high school, I had a chemistry teacher who just got me really excited. He was the kind of teacher who would jump up onto the desks and he would make things blow up, and we just had a lot of fun in his class. And I remember that feeling. I remember how much fun I had, and that made me connect to chemistry in a really great way. And all that kind of came together through my experience at Science Quest. So Science Quest was a science and engineering summer camp at Queen's University. So I grew up in Kingston, Ontario, and I went to Science Quest as a camper. And we did all kinds of fun things. I can't even remember exactly what they were, but again, I remember how much fun I had. We got to be on the university campus and exploring the different engineering buildings. Our camp counselors were engineering students, and I could just feel their energy and their passion for engineering, and that really rubbed off on me. And because of my experiences with Science Quest, that's a lot of the reason why I decided to study engineering when it was my time to go to make those kinds of decisions. So that's just a little bit about me. So today what I wanted to introduce to you and get you curious and get you thinking about are what are some of the everyday things that engineers are doing right now still that are important in our lives. So we always like to start with thinking about the problem. And so what we've written down here is that even though schools are closed, a lot of businesses are shut down, things really just aren't running the way they normally do, there are still things that we need every day. So the work that engineers do every day is to help us stay connected, help us feel safe, and help keep us healthy. So they're still doing that, even in these very, very unusual times. And I pulled some pictures and put them up on the screen here just to get you thinking about the different ways that you are influenced by the work that engineers do. So there's a picture of some power lines, so all the electricity that you're using every day at your house, charging up all of your electronics, that kind of thing. I put an ambulance on the screen. There are still, emergency vehicles. People still do need to get around in some very important ways. Transportation. Engineers are very involved in transportation in many different ways. The middle picture there is making me very hungry. The loaves of bread that are moving along the conveyor belt there. So manufacturing and making sure that the processes in manufacturing are still going smoothly, and we're able to get the food that we need to be fed every day. Engineers, I myself actually spent a little bit of time working in a food manufacturing environment. I used to make penguin crackers and arrowroot cookies, and it looked very similar to the picture that you see on the screen in the middle. And then I put up a picture of computers, so many different ways that engineers are involved in computer design and development, and also the software and the the internet and how we're staying connected in those ways. And then also when it comes to connection, I thought this is a really cute little comic at the bottom of the screen. Two people holding tin cans connected by a string talking to each other, and they're saying, hey, how do I text on this thing? But just staying connected to each other through different networks. And that's really important these days, right? Because we can't do it in person. So engineers are working hard to make sure we can still stay connected. And so I wanted to take just a second to introduce something to you. You may have seen this before, you may have heard of it before, you may not. But the picture that you're seeing on the screen is a ring. It's we call it an iron ring, and it's something that engineers wear, and they wear it on their pinky finger. And they wear it on the pinky finger of whichever hand they use to write with. So if you're right-handed, you wear it on your right pinky. If you're left-handed, you wear it on your left pinky. And this ring is a reminder. It's a reminder for engineers about their obligations, and that an engineer's role really is always to serve. We're here to help, to find solutions to these everyday problems, no matter what the situation is, to make sure people are safe and healthy and happy. So I thought that would be a fun thing for you to know about the iron ring, so that you can keep an eye out when you get to go out and see people again, hopefully soon, and keep an eye out and see if you can identify who's an engineer by the ring that they're wearing on their pinky finger. So like always, we want you to get curious, ask some questions, think about some questions about what we just talked about, what I just introduced to you. So the idea of the iron ring, maybe you're thinking already, how do engineers get this ring? And does every engineer have a ring? Where do the rings come from? There's a lot of stories behind the iron ring. So I really encourage you to think about that, get curious, see what you can figure out for yourself. They're all great questions. We love that you're thinking about them and asking questions. So let's work together to find the answers. So what's next? Again, just stay tuned. We've got lots more stories to share with you about how engineers are stepping up and working hard to keep us all safe and healthy and happy these days. Have a great rest of your day everyone.